All right, we're going to roll right into our select board meeting. We are late. It is 6:43, and I'm going to call this to order. Additions to the agenda. I have one. We have received a request for funds from the Alice J. Brooks, and we will be going into an executive session to discuss that, and we will announce any actions that are taken after.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor by roll call. Jean,
Aye.
Sandy,
Aye.
is Jeff here?
Yes.
Jeff,
Aye.
and Chris is an aye. All right, so we will add that. Chair's remarks, I have none. Open public comments on agenda items only. I am seeing none. Guests, we have all kinds of them. Sandy, I'm on a phone. I can barely see who's here. Are you able to see everybody, or do we need to call
I
out?
think so.
Okay. Department committee reports. We will take a COVID update from Chief Emery and Mark Snow, both of whom are with us this evening. Chief or Mark, the floor is yours, please.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. And again, we appreciate your time to listen to us. But the COVID update isn't good news. I don't think since our last meeting that I have the ability to say that we've made great strides forward. However, just to give you an idea where things are, Vermont has experienced over 10,000 positive cases. We are actually at 10,321 as of today. There's 40 in the hospital and 5 in intensive care. And our death rate still climbs, and we're at 163 deaths. That's the numbers for today. Unfortunately, our last 2 weeks have been higher than they have. This week marks that we have been dealing with COVID for a year. And the last 2 weeks are the highest we've seen. However, we've been over 100 for this last month, and it's attributed partially to the holidays and people gathering. And now there's the complicators of the ski areas and people still coming to Vermont. Vermont, out of the 50 states, is the lowest of positive cases. The vaccine is out, and Mark will talk more about the vaccine as we get going here. There really isn't much more that I have to tell you. The old story and what we've been preaching is still there. What concerns me the most is part of the vaccine that is out. What they're concerned, and I think, will people start letting their guards down. The vaccine, unfortunately, Vermont's not getting as many as they did or they had planned on, but they're administering it as fast as they get it. So, so I think what's going to happen is people are letting their guards down. They're going to stop wearing masks, and they're feeling safer. And it's not time. It's not time yet. This is the time. This is critical time for us right now. There is some light. There is some positive here. But the mask, the social distancing, and washing hands is imperative. That's pretty much it. And I'll let Mark pick it up and talk about where we are with the vaccines.
Thanks, Chief. Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well and you're staying healthy. In regards to the vaccine, the Vermont Department of Health announced that registration for people who are 75 years and older can register to receive the vaccine. The availability will begin on January 25th, and the vaccine clinics will start on January 27th. People who wish to register can register online. They'll need to go to healthvermont.gov/COVID-19/vaccine. And that's the site where it will guide individuals to get on to register for the vaccine. The state has started, besides the first responders and healthcare workers, they've started with the age group of 75 years and older. Once that age group is completed, they will open it up to the second age group, which is 70 and above. And after that group is completed, they'll drop the age down to 65 and older. And that is as vaccine supplies allow this to happen. In addition to the age group, there are some high health risk groups that will receive priority as well. Those high health risk can be found on the website, healthvermont.gov. It outlines each of the health conditions that the state considers high risk. That's pretty much what I have for the vaccine. In addition to what Chief Emery was saying in regards to people letting their guards down, unfortunately, I feel that he's correct on saying that. And what I would like to pass along is that people in this area have done very well wearing their mask, maintaining social safe distance, and washing their hands. And I would want to say that I want to encourage everybody to continue to do that, even though the vaccine is out and available.
Any questions for Mark or David?
Yeah, I have a question, Mark, Jeff Dunklee. So the state of Vermont has deprioritized essential workers.
No, I don't believe they've, well, I can't answer that, Jeff. I want to be honest with you. I don't.
I thought originally essential workers were going to be in one of the first waves, or the second rather, after. So they've prioritized down to 65 years of age.
Jeff, they excluded some emergency workers in the early part of this last week, and the governor looked at it, and the group looked at it, and the emergency workers got put into that first group. However, there has to be some direct contact, and Chief Dunklee has already forwarded that list. They have to be connected to that group, but they're not out of the list. It did get reinstituted.
No, my question was essential workers, not necessarily emergency.
I'm sorry. I withdraw everything I said. So yes, essential workers are back into the groups of ages.
Okay, thank you.
Makes a lot of sense. We put kids back in school, but we don't vaccinate the teachers. I love it.
Well, in today's discussion with the group and there was some significant discussion about, the school nurse gets vaccinated, but some of the teachers don't because of the age group and how they, so I think there's some work to do on that. And I don't know where it will go, but that's where it is.
Any further questions on the COVID update? Seeing none, gentlemen, thank you for joining us and for the update as usual. Next, we are going to move on to the fire department update. We are joined by Chief Dunklee and some members of the advisory committee as well. Chief Dunklee, all yours.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having us. I guess just to start with an update, I'll give you kind of an idea where we're at right now. So for the month of January, we're doing trainings for our members, and we're doing trainings every Tuesday and Thursday. Basically, what we've done is we've split our membership into two groups. And so one group comes on Tuesday, one group comes on Thursdays, and then each group from there gets divided into two divisions. One division works upstairs, one division works downstairs. So we kind of maintain our social distancing that way and limit our exposure while still getting in as many people that we can for training. Our big goal for this month with training is just for myself and the assistant chief to get to know the membership a bit better, to start pulling out what the knowledge is that they have, where their strengths and weaknesses are, how they work, so that when we go and start asking them to carry out tasks for us, we have an idea of what they're capable of, and we just want to make sure that we're not putting someone into harm's way that doesn't have the proper knowledge to be able to do so. So we're working on air packs and getting to know the SCBA a little bit better, as well as going through the trucks and testing their knowledge and their skills on the equipment that's located on the trucks, as well as the trucks themselves and what they know about the trucks. As far as vaccinations go, we've had several members get their vaccinations. Some of them have gotten them through their employers, and then there's been several through the department who have been able to get vaccinated, both on EMS as well as fire folks as well. We've also been working with the Vermont Fire Academy to get some training set up. They have sent us a 40-hour curriculum, which is a basic, it's an introductory and refresher class for exterior firefighting operations. So we'll be putting that curriculum to use starting in the next few weeks. And we're also working on getting set up with them some more advanced training, although their training schedule looks like that's going to that won't be available until the fall. So we'll continue to work with them and see what we can get from the state for help. But that won't prohibit us or slow our timeline down from reopening. So there's been a couple of hurdles that we're facing. COVID has certainly not been in our favor. It has slowed things down as far as the number of people who we can get in. I think it's having an impact on how many folks have been coming to trainings, and it's certainly limited the amount of time or just being able to get people in sooner. We've been having a little bit of a struggle with medical call responses. We've been working on getting some more folks up to speed so that they can provide assistance with medical calls, but it's still an area we struggle in, and we're doing we're working on. We had a CPR AED class this past weekend. The turnout wasn't what we were hoping, but we'll be putting on another class in the near future to help facilitate that response. Let's see, and then some things that are going well. We're getting the support that we're getting from the surrounding communities, from Guilford and Bernston and Brattleboro. It's been tremendous. The surrounding departments have been extremely helpful, and we're deeply indebted to them. We wouldn't. We're in a good position because of them. And then I just my with the assistant chief and the deputy EMS chief, I'd say we all have a very good working relationship together, and I do feel confident with the leadership that we're headed in a good direction. And the advisory committee has been phenomenal as well, and I don't know where we'd be without them. So. That's all I can think of at the moment, but I'm open to questions and whatever you guys have for us. So I'm willing to answer.
Great. Thanks for the update, Chief. Curious if your lack of EMS response is because of lack of EMS members? Do you need more members, or is it schedule conflicts? Is there something that we can do that would be helpful, whether it's advertising to get new members? Anything that you can think of that we might need there?
I honestly don't know. I do feel like our roster is pretty good. I don't know. I haven't gotten to the bottom of it, and I'm working on it. Trying to figure out what the issue is. My first thought was COVID. My second thought was schedules, but I'm thinking there might be something more to it, and I don't know for sure. So
let us know if you need anything on that, Chief.
Yeah. And at some point we will be doing a membership drive of some sort, but I think now we'll work with the members that we have. And if anybody else shows up at this point, we'll certainly welcome them. But right now we need to focus on who we have and get everything moving forward with where we're at. So.
Okay, great. Any other questions for Chief Dunklee from the Select Board? Seeing none. Chief, because you are doing your trainings on Tuesdays and Thursdays, let's push you out until the last meeting of March for the next update. That way you can focus on what you need to in-house. Does that work for you?
That's fine with me.
Great. Wendy, could you make a note of that, please? Alex, I think we're all set with you, Chief. I appreciate your time and the update. Keep up the good work, guys, between you and the surrounding towns, as well as the advisory committee. You guys are killing it, and it's appreciated. And I cut you off. Go ahead, Chief.
I just didn't know if Chief Emery had anything else he wanted to add, but.
Well, I think, again, as reporting for the advisory committee, I think I sent you, Chris, a list of our list of goals and our accomplishments. And we feel that we have reached that. So this week, matter of fact, tomorrow night, the advisory committee is regrouping, and we are relooking at now and getting deeper down into some of the operational stuff than where we were. However, we're extremely proud and thrilled to have Alex and Spencer on board, because now we've been, shedding some of our workload to him, or them, I should say. And that seems to be working well. The advisory committee has changed its meetings to accommodate their Thursday meetings. We moved to Wednesdays, and we're moving to every other week. So that's where we are right now. We still have some work to do. Unfortunately, there's been some emergencies in Vernon, but things have gone extremely well. And I'm pretty happy to where we are. I just hope that this bump that we're experiencing right now is a bump and not a crater. So we'll get over it.
Great, thank you. Seeing nothing else, again, thanks for joining us tonight, and we will see the fire department update, the last meeting in March. Next, we're moving on to the approval of regular meeting minutes from January 5th.
I didn't see any issues. I don't know if anybody else did. I'm not going for it this time.
Sandy, did you find anything in there? No.
I'm sorry, did you ask me?
No, I asked Sandy, did you notice
I
anything?
apologize.
in there? Hey.
Sandy typed it, so I sent it to Wendy to see if she can find anything.
All right, well, I'll make a motion that we accept the meeting minutes from January 5th as written.
Second,
Moved and seconded. All those in favor, Jeff,
Aye.
Jean,
aye.
Sandy,
Aye.
Chris, aye. Next, on to bills and warrants, please, Jean.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve payment of the following warrant. 14T accounts payable, $1,241,396.96. 1S payroll.
Am I the
All
only?
right. Oh, is she coming back?
Oh, we lost her.
All right, I will finish that up. Maybe.
I'll second her motion.
Did she get through the,
She got stuck on 1S, which was 8,169.19.
and
And then-
2S payroll is $7,618.64. And we have a second from Miss Harris to accept that. So all those in favor, Jeff,
Aye.
Sandy,
Aye.
Chris is an aye, and hopefully Jean's back at some point. All right. Next
Okay,
we will-
aye.
Okay,
Aye, Jean.
Jean,
I
we
lost
did
inter-
finish reading that. We are looking for a yay or a nay from you to accept those warrants.
Yay.
Yay. All right. So that was unanimous. We're all set there. Next, we're on to new business. The first being the consideration of the highway mileage certificate that David had sent over to us. And I believe everybody received that.
Mhm.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I move that we approve and sign the certificate of highway mileage for the year ending February 10th, 2021.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Mr. Dunklee. All those in favor, Jean,
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Sandy?
Aye.
Chris is an aye. Next, we're going to go on to the consideration of advertising requests for proposals for planning and analysis of reuse and redevelopment of the VY property. I did see that we're joined by Martin this evening. Is there anything you'd like to speak on to that, sir?
No, really, just if you have questions, I think the RFP there is pretty self-explanatory, and this is the second part of the grant that we got for working on site mapping and so forth at the VY site. The first part is done. It was done by the folks from Antioch, and this is for the second part. We need a different consultant for this.
Any questions from the board?
No.
Is this doable by March 2nd? Seemed like it was really fast.
You know, if it says March, yeah, I think we can get, right, yes. We have a list of consultants and we can get it out to them by email. So yes, we can get the proposals in and get them picked. The work under this grant has to be completed by September 30th. And so the project, we're asking for the consultants to be done by August 31st.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I move we approve. You want us to just approve this, Martin?
Yeah, just approval for that to go out as an RFP. It's, you know, we're not really advertising or spending any money on advertising.
Approve the request for proposals and send it out.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Mr. Dunklee. All those in favor, Jean,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Sandy,
Aye,
Chris is an aye. Thank you, Martin.
it's a lot of work.
Yeah. Next into old business, we have the final approval of the 21-22 fiscal year budget. Wendy, how are we on that?
You should have received a copy of the updated budget. It was in the packet. Cindy prepared it. I can get it up on the screen if you would like.
No, I didn't know. I know that we have a special meeting next week, so I wasn't sure if there was anything that we were waiting on as far as the budget stuff for that.
We have the school rental information, which was something that we were waiting for, but I thought you would want to take one more look at the whole budget. But
Yeah.
obviously that's your preference.
Well, we're gonna have that meeting. We're gonna discuss the capital plan next week. So, Sandy, how do you feel about revisiting this next Tuesday, just to make sure that we have all the information and we are good to go?
I have no problem. How's Wendy on crunching the town report together? Will she have time?
Yes,
Okay.
I will, because I just popped that in.
Perfect. I'm all for waiting.
Okay, perfect. Next, we are on to our town clerk, who is joining us this evening. Consideration of warning and schedule for town meeting. Tim, it's all yours, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am very glad to be able to tell the board that Governor Scott has announced today he signed the bill known as H-48, which allows towns to push back their date for floor meetings. And if they also want, they would be able to mail out ballots to all registered voters for any election. As I had discussed with the select board, and as I believe Wendy will back me up, I really have no interest in pushing back the election. I feel we can do that on a socially distanced basis with the polls open on March the 2nd. However, I would like to request that the board agree to have the floor meeting in the middle of May. I'll have Wendy give you an exact date, but my idea would be for us to hold it outside, perhaps at the town recreation center, knowing that any indoor gathering would have right now a limit of 75 people, which frankly is quite impractical for holding a town meeting in this town.
Any objection, questions, comments, concerns from the board?
Question, comment. So originally, I guess I was in favor of a mid-May. My concern at this point is if we're going to have it outside and we can't have it inside in the gymnasium, what about light? Days are a little longer in June. I guess I'm just concerned that, if we have it in May, days aren't quite as long and things might get kind of dark before the end of the meeting. So
We talk about a Saturday meeting, as much as it pains me to even bring that up, because I know we've gone round and round about this. I'm just curious if for this 1 year, given the circumstances, if we may consider that, also knowing that that's going to open a can of worms and then we will be forever stuck with a Saturday town meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I would say that I'm going to leave the timing of such meeting up to you. However, I do have roughly $1,000 left in an account that was set up by the $5,000 grant the town received from the Center for Tech and Civic Light. And I believe that using a portion of that money for temporary lighting might be an admissible use of some of that money for a meeting that could start in the evening and go into the nighttime if the weather was appropriate.
What if we just gather around a big bonfire, Tim?
Well, I would have to request that I do that with a beverage, and that would be inappropriate for a town meeting, Mr. Chairman.
That's fair, sir.
Well, I think I agree if there is a provision for alternative lighting later on, at the very least, a great big spotlight on the town moderator.
That means we'll have to shave.
On the job.
But my suggestion would be to, if we could, before we set a final date, to get together with both Wendy and with Seth, because my idea would target the recreation center. So we should have that nailed down before we come back to you with a date, perhaps on the meeting of the 26th.
Yes, that would be fine. Do you need a vote from us to approve moving this meeting?
Ultimately, yes, but I think we can defer that until the meeting next week. Wendy, what do you
Okay.
think about that? Wendy, you're muted.
I'm sorry. Do you see the shared screen that has the meeting and the articles for the warning?
Yeah,
There's a possibility that what's I think likely is at the meeting next week, you'll have to approve the warning for both meetings. There's a potential that the warning for the second half of the meeting that would be in May or June, would have a separate warning, but unless Tim's heard otherwise, we don't know that yet.
We do have an email into the state elections division, and I've not gotten a decision from them yet.
Okay, I suspect that they'll consider it as one big meeting because that's just how it normally is. So this is a lot to go through next week. So if there's anything on here that you think would be easy to either dismiss or discuss tonight, please let me know. Otherwise, you may have to do all of this next week when you do the budget.
Sandy, your thoughts?
It will be an interesting year.
Yeah.
All right, so we will wait for further information next week, and we will make a hopeful decision on a date and time for the 2021 town meeting. Does that work for you, Tim?
Yeah, Chris, I don't have any issues with any of the articles.
I think we need all of them.
So I don't, at least for my part, I don't foresee spending a lot of time on articles.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I would say that looking down the articles on library trustees, Marsh Fund, and Memorial Day Committee are traditionally taken up in the floor meeting, but they last all together about a minute or two each. So I would recommend that we put those within the floor meeting rather than the Australian ballot vote.
We couldn't vote them by Australian ballot.
no, we can't.
Yeah, there has not been a warning to have candidates come forward, so I don't think it would be appropriate for the Australian ballot.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And the individuals who are in those positions now serve until their successors are elected.
Correct.
Anything
Okay.
else there, sir?
No, just I am continuing to lobby on behalf of the town and on behalf of the Vermont Municipal Clerk Treasurers Association, as both the House and Senate Government Operations Committees are looking at whether they want to put some of the one-year changes to election laws in place on a future basis. And I want to make sure that whatever happens doesn't hurt the town.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, it's appreciated for sure.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions for our town clerk? Seeing none, thank you for joining us, sir. We'll see you next Tuesday.
You got it.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Next, we will be looking to go into executive session. Sandy, can you get us there? That would be for the consideration of the Ann Marsh.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we go into executive session to discuss documents accepted from the Access to Public Record Laws, 1 VSA 313A6, the Alice J. Brooks Fund.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Ms. Carr. All those in favor, Jeff?
Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
Sandy?
Aye.
Chris is an aye. We are in executive session at 7:18. So we went into executive session at 7:18, out at 7:34. No action was taken. Sandy, please.
Mr. Chair, I move that we expend up to $400 from the AJ Brooks Fund.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor, Jeff?
Aye.
Sandy?
Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
Chris? Aye. All right. So Wendy, could you send that over to Cindy, please, and let her know?
Yes, sir.
All right. Public participation on non-agenda items only. Seeing none. Town admin report, please.
Okay, I'll be brief. I've been educating myself on the FERC process, and so you're probably aware that's the licensing of the dams, and so the town will have an opportunity to comment on that and whether or not the contributions by the companies are sufficient. Working on the website, we'll get going on that very shortly. And it looks like we will be able to include online payments. That's one thing that I've heard from, that's the single most common request that I've heard from folks. And then the town report. I'm really spending most of my time on the town report. If folks have photos of people who are in the hometown heroes category, please send them along. That would be very helpful. So that's it.
Awesome. Thank you very much. We have a special meeting next Tuesday, January 26th at 6:30. That'll be to finalize the budget. We will also hear from the capital plan again, and we will finish the discussion on moving the town meeting. And then our next regular meeting is February 2nd at 6:30. Any further discussion? If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded to get out of here. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.